Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drunks, beer review with my co-host Ty. How you doing today, Ty?
What's up? What's up, Ray Z? What's up, Coach? I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We got to get a run in earlier this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good overall now.
Yeah, you call that a run?
You
I'm
know, a good.
sore like I ran a marathon right now, bro.
How are you?
Sore. Yeah, how do you feel?
I know I'm actually feeling good. Earlier, you were like, "You want to stop?" And I was like, "Man, you want to just keep going and keep going."
Yeah, I did, and I'm not lying about it. Yeah, anytime that I haven't finished a trail where it could lead to something else that I haven't seen or other trailheads, I always want to venture further. So obviously, I know that if we went another 2 miles, that would have been what 14-mile total. Another 3 miles would have been another 16 miles. I know it added up, but at the same time, I have so much fun on the trail in the mountains. It's like my happy place. So I don't care, I just wanted to do it. But I'm glad we did what we did. It was nice. A good 10 mile mountains, 10 mile mountain trail running in the mountains is different than 10 miles. Anyone would know that that's done it, but it's just a whole different beast, different level of energy that you exert. And I thought I had a really good time just with that and just the conversation that we had and just everything from the stretching in the beginning. That's very important that I'm really, really, really in 2022 trying to take very serious. So yeah, dude, I had a good time, man. We should do it before the show every Monday.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was I'm not gonna lie. During mile 8, I felt like shit. I felt like I didn't drink enough water. Like, cause I drank a beer the night before for watching the NFL games, and I had coffee in the morning and no water, and
Guilty
I
as
was
well.
like, yeah. And then, but after that, only for that mile, which is typically where I'm like, I usually get water on mile 8. Uh, After that, I felt fine. So, and then the downhill came, and that was a nice cherry on top right there, like always.
Yeah, you like that. Yeah, you seem to you took off on the downhill for sure. The last what mile and a half or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and in reality, it's kind of like how you said. I don't purposely like go faster. I just kind of go with that flow, and that flow always takes me quicker on the downhill. You know.
for sure. I like that same flow. Both. I appreciate the flow. It's weird on the incline, on the uphill more than I do the downhill. I feel like it's a little bit more. I can control it better with my steps, with my pace, with my breathing. I feel like I control the uphill more. Where downhill is cool, but it's. I know it's part of just hiking and everything, but I prefer uphill or just a flat. Just a flat trail over downhill, where you would think that downhill is like cool, easy money, right? It's not though. It's so much on your joints and your
And your
everything.
quads.
Your
Yeah.
quads for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, and that's what Ravel's kind of famous for. Their downhill races, and they're basically Boston qualifiers. But it does put a toll on your body if you're not training to run downhill. And yeah, trails are way different than road. It wouldn't have taken us like 2.5 hours or
Right.
less than that to hit 10 miles on the road, like compared to on the trail.
Oh, for sure. So a normal 10, we'll say even do a 10 minute would take like what 130, about an hour more, right?
Oops, wrong sound effect. so so I'm still trying to get used to this. And the other day I had a show and I didn't put my volume up, so I don't know how my guest heard me, but she heard me good, but the audio sounds like shit. So it's a learning and process.
It sounds good. It sounds nice. Very clear, and it's very impressive looking too.
Oh yeah, I mean, this mic got a lot of good reviews, and I checked out a bunch of different mics before I got this one. But yeah, I'm happy with it, the way it sounds, and I'm still learning how to kind of use it and where you have to be to get the best audio quality.
Right, right. Yeah. So
And
so far so good.
I had a chance to do a little looking into the big Hazy Wolf, which is the beer
Oh,
that I'll be drinking today, and so will Ty. And
yeah.
and
I'll get mine
and
today.
Yeah,
Talk about it. I can hear you. I'm gonna get mine.
all right. So when I was looking into it, and I could pull it up on the computer, Golden Road is from Los Angeles. It's a brewery here in Los Angeles, California. Um, I've actually paced a couple races that they have. They're really pet friendly, so they're okay with you taking the pets. Their bar's pretty large. It's got games. It's indoor, outdoor. Uh, Now that I was looking at the website, I do remember having a Wolves Amongst Weeds. I've had that beer before. It's pretty good. And then, which pretty much has happened to every single brewery, they teamed up with Anheuser-Busch in 2015 for
Same as
distribution.
same as Elysian.
Yeah, just it's I guess it's more for distribution, and I personally feel that if it wasn't for like their mango carts and their flavored beer, which appeals to the like Latin Mexican American community, they may not have been as big because
The seltzers too. They're
yeah,
big
I
on the
mean, I drink
seltzers.
Golden Road, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. And this one, this is their highest IPA.
Oh,
So
is it?
they have a triple IPA green can. It's 8%.
No way.
When you go to their website, this is not even listed on their website.
Interesting.
It's I had to check elsewhere just to get some information on it, but they don't even have a listing for it.
Interesting. I checked out the Big Hazy Wolf and saw it was 9%. I was like, that's cool for a double IPA, but you would think a triple IPA would be like what, at least 11. So that's
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
One
and
thing, did you know that it was found? I went down the rabbit hole for about 20 minutes. I didn't have much time, but the owner is a woman that's very young, like under 30, that founded it and it had a passion for beer. And she didn't mention her husband. I'm assuming that her husband's her partner because she mentioned a partner. So like she put together this love for beer and even talked about how the can is much superior over the bottle when it comes to the hops, when it comes to the taste that you want they wanted you to receive, because they're really trying to get people to, even people that don't like beer, they guarantee or at least want you to love a beer from them. That's why they have so many varieties, and they pretty much say, "Hey, you're gonna love one of our beers. You just if you don't like beer now, you haven't found your beer yet." Basically, and she was 28 years old at the time, I believe, 5 years ago. So she's 32 now. Who knows how old she was when they started? But they probably maybe 8, 9 years deep. Another cool thing about them, do you know
I
that?
did not. I couldn't find anything about that. That's interesting.
Oh, really? It's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, she seems like a cool chick. She said she cool woman. Excuse me. um, she just went to a couple bars and said like talked about her love for beer, and a lot of people looked at her like, "Oh, you're just a chick," But she was just like, "No, I love beer," and they have two Golden Roads. One's in L.A. and one's in, well, they probably have more. The two that I saw, one's in Orange County, one's
Yes.
right in the Angel Stadium parking lot, where
Across the street.
you can actually go to Golden Road, park there before a game, have a meal, have a bomb ass burger, drink a couple beers, and walk to the game from the Golden Road parking lot, and they permit it, and you can actually get there from the parking lot without doing anything but taking a 10-minute walk. I
Oh,
thought
that's
that was
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read that they opened up one, and I think you're right. That's only their second brewery because they're from LA. So I read it was across the street from Angel Stadium.
Mhm.
Exactly what I
That,
read.
and I was surprised I, I'm back, yo. I was surprised that they deal with the Angels like that. They even have a rally beer, like after the rally monkey for the Angels. They have a beer like that, and I'm surprised because Dodgers, Golden Road makes a Dodger beer that the Dodger Stadium serves as a Dodger beer. So that's crazy how they're tackling both, you know, both national and American, both teams, Los Angeles Dodgers and Los Angeles Angels, and that's pretty ambitious. And give them props for that. They're just trying to cover LA, pretty much. That's a pretty high level thing to do to take care of both stadiums.
Actually, yeah, and I have had their beer now that you mentioned it, the Dodger beer.
Just
Yeah.
a regular lager. I think it's like 5.2 or something like that. Good beer. It's like an 805 to me. If you wanted me to compare it to something, which I
And
like.
I could see how, like, they're down the street from Dodger Stadium and they're across the street from Angel Stadium.
I think they
And
did it on purpose. So I think it was a perfect plan. Yeah.
I'm going to say I love the color. It's very good. And I think it tastes great. I was not expecting this for a 9.0.
Oh yeah, this is nice.
Very refreshing, no
This is my first time.
bitterness. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
No
this
bit.
is really good.
Yeah, and welcome
That's
back,
how we
everybody.
do it up in here.
Might as well put all the sound effects. I only have four. I need to change them. Let's see. What's
Oh, okay.
this?
Okay, that's like game show.
This one,
Yeah.
I do. I've used it already,
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
and this one will be handy during Christmas time.
Oh yeah, all your jokes.
My Christmas puns. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Your Christmas puns or dad jokes.
Nah, Christmas puns.
Christmas puns. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been known to tell a few dad jokes here and there.
That's all I have. So I don't even say I don't even say jokes anymore.
So we both did 10 miles today. Was it a new trail that we hit?
It,
Have you been there before?
I have. Yeah, I remember I talked about the cottage and the.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah.
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 So to me, it was a new trail. For those of you listening in, I guess this would be on the between LA County entering San Bernardino, maybe.
Yeah, it's like right in the foothills still. In the foothills, we call the foothills like your San Gabriel Mountains and Mount. It's below Mount Baldy, below Ice House Canyon, even if you know that area a little bit. And it's a cool little trail. It's not on blast at all. I don't believe it's in like trails.com or anything like that. But enough locals know about it. You can park there. There's a couple of parking spots actually, and it's a cool little. It's there's a residence. It's a resident. There's a lot of cabins there that people actually live in as well as rent out. I'd assume. Um, by lots, I mean like what 8 cabins that we saw, like half mile in, maybe 8.
Yeah, and to me, it looks like a real local type of trail, even though the opening is like in the public street.
Mhm.
But it seems very, very local to me, like that type of trail, which is good as well. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was very local, very low key.
Very low
Uh,
key. My favorite trail is low key, where it's actually cool, runnable, beautiful. I mean, we saw. I mean, for being in the San Gabriels, some pretty good scenery. In LA, that we can't really brag about our mountains like you could if you were in Sedona or if you even up north in like say the Mount Shasta area or the Sequoias. We can't really brag about our mountains like that because of our pollution and all that, but. It's good for what we have. It's pretty damn good. I like it. For being in our backyard, 20-minute drive, pretty
well,
cool.
I do remember many years ago we went to Mount Wilson, and there was a situation where a runner killed his boyfriend, and the police kind of closed off the trail the way we went up. So we had to. They were telling us to go all the way around, which we were not prepared for. So they had a restaurant up there, Astro Cafe, still
Astro
up there.
Cosmic Cafe,
Cosmic, okay.
Cosmic
And,
Cafe.
and then I remember we ate there. We took a tour, did the whole thing, and
Talk about the
I.
tour though. The tour was pretty dope. I mean, we saw pictures of Albert Einstein there.
That's why I was gonna say we could brag about our mountains because I
Yeah,
remember the Big Bang Theory was created right there,
very
or
very true.
that's where they and also Albert Einstein was there. So and Hubble, who created the Big Bang Theory. So
Yeah,
that I would say that right there is pretty huge. And I specifically remember them saying why they chose those mountains to put all these telescopes
satellites and
and
telescopes.
yeah.
SEC's there too, as well as USC and UCLA have satellites there as well.
And the reason they said there is because you get the wind from the Santa Monicas and the wind from the mountain, and it like hits right there perfectly. So if it's ever really really hot and you see those waves, that's like a keeps them from seeing further out. So when the Santa Ana and the wind from the mountain collide, that waviness goes away, and that's why they put that, because it's one of the best places in the world, they said, to see the
Wow,
stars.
that's pretty cool that you
And
remember
that's
that.
with the light pollution.
That's pretty. Yeah, exactly. That's so cool. You remember that. I remember when we first went into the observatory. That when we got the like the cool little tour of the actual observatory, that there was the scientist studying on his telescope. He was there right there the whole time, and we're asking him like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh well, this is what I do all day, every day." And then someone else comes and relieves me. Do you remember what they did? Study sunspots. Sunspots. They basically look at the sun, how they can with the lens, and just trying to they kind of just look for movement, some kind of variation, and that's it. That's his thing.
That's crazy how you remember that. I
Yeah.
remember going in there and meeting him. We waited,
Remember?
and he was an astronomer.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I asked him as many questions as I could think of. Like, do you know where the aliens are at?
And your favorite one, your favorite, your dude from Pasadena. You always talk about
Oh, Jack Parson.
Jack Parson.
Yeah, I mean, a local guy.
Let's talk about it. Can you expand on that, Jack Parson? Let everybody know who the fuck that guy is.
Let's see here. Well, Jack Parsons, since me and Ty are local guys from California here, Jack Parsons, a local guy from Pasadena. He didn't have any sort of, according to, and you can actually, it's not the History Channel, but a channel close to it made a documentary on it, and they talk about Pasadena a lot. I might have sent it to you. Uh, but he was like a super kind of intelligent guy who had no like former training on rocketeering, but he knew how to create rockets. And him and a couple other guys in the San Gabriel Valley, Pasadena area would all hang out where it's Devil's Dam, where we've gone running before.
Yes, yes.
And they called them the Suicide Squad. And the Suicide Squad came up with some sort of new rocketeering invention that the Navy or military soon caught on, went to it, and then they approached them, and then they started working for the military. And supposedly, well, I actually not supposedly, they gave them the money and the Suicide Squad money to make Jack Proportion. I mean, JPL, Jet Proportion Laboratory, which supposedly to the insiders is Jack Parsons Laboratory.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean that's all interesting right there. And then when you look into his ties with Alexander Crawley
Ah,
and
Crawley
him
and
and
Prescott Bush.
that, and then him trying to have the
Grandfather Prescott Bush.
Antichrist with L. Ron Hubbard and his wife, who turned out to go out and make Dianetics. And that house where they try to do that in Pasadena supposedly is like a portal to hell right now. It's like they opened it because they were trying to do some spell where I think they like got 30 demons in 30 nights. And during that seance or ritual, Crawley had some sort of unexpected emergency and he had to leave. So they don't feel they closed that portal right.
Oh,
And
wow.
so there's that in Pasadena. And then you have the whole, what is it? Is it Devil's Dam or Devil's Gate? I
Devil's
forget.
Gate Dam.
Yeah, Devil's Gate Dam. Yeah, right there. Which we've gone running there. And every time I've ran there, I've never felt anything
I felt cool,
creepy.
except when you go in that bridge. I feel a little something. You
Mm,
know the little bridge I'm talking
yeah,
about, right
yeah.
before you get to like the ponds and all that.
But I
Yeah,
even went on Halloween at nighttime, and
yeah.
I didn't feel creeped out at all. You know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So the way they do it on that History Channel documentary, they make it sound like it's so spooky, but like really, you could go trail running there all the time. If anybody ever wants to explore it, it's look up JPL, Jet Proportion Laboratory, behind Pasadena, and you will find it. It's quite an extensive trail, actually.
It is really because behind JPL is Brown Mountain, and Brown Mountain is named after John Brown, the abolitionist from the Bleeding Kansas, that one that basically helped in the slave revolt. And it's a huge political figure. See, back in the day, everyone that fled from Bleeding Kansas during the slave revolt, as well as Kentucky and I want to say Kansas for sure, Kentucky was as well. They all fled to Pasadena because for some reason, this was what the Wells Fargo, the what do they call it, the Pony Express
The wagon
mail
days.
system back in the days. I don't know how they got the information, but everyone from India to parts of the South that were segregated, to anyone that wanted to start a family, they knew somehow that Pasadena was a place that was going to be founded on love and unity, and they wanted different cultures in Pasadena, and that's why everyone fled there. So Brown Mountain and back at JPL, which is where we're talking about, was named after not John Brown, his father, which was a huge abolitionist and a big factor in the civil rights movement, but his son Owen Brown is actually buried there. So Owen Brown actually was the only one that lived because his brother and his father died in that. Owen Brown lived for a few years, I believe, and
Wait,
then
he's buried behind JPL.
he's buried in Brown Mountain. There's a
Okay,
grave. Would you, would
is
you,
that part of the Mount Brown Observatory that got blown out
I am not sure about
in
that.
Altadena?
It's Brown Mountain, so I I'm
I'm
not
pretty
sure.
sure. I think I remember talking to you about this a
We've
long
talked
time
about this
ago,
Owen Brown thing. Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
He has
I
like
seen him on the
a
History
grave. He
Channel.
has like a cross where his grave is at. There's not actually a grove. There's no tombstone that says Owen Brown, but there's a cross, and they say that's where he was buried. And since then, if you look at Pasadena, people that know California, it's a very diverse place. A place where a lot of African Americans, Mexican Americans, uh, just different ethnicities of white and Asian and et cetera, et cetera. They all exist pretty comfortably in Pasadena, and they always have. And that's just a credit to how it was founded. You know, if it was found if it's founded on blood, then blood is what you get. But I think it was founded on love, Pasadena, and you get that with the surrounding cities, with Altadena, Pasadena, Monrovia, really cool cities to raise your family as a minority, as a black or Mexican or Asian or Indian. Like I really found that that's one place where you see a lot of cultures kicking it right. Where no one's like, ugh, who's that? It's very familiar. If that makes any sense.
Oh, it does to me. But I know you listen to Rogan. Have you ever heard Rogan talk about Altadena and what the police used to like?
Never.
No,
No.
yeah, I got to go back before I even say, but they were pretty racist, and they would try and push the black community basically to the Altadena area.
That
That's what
makes
they,
sense. Altitude
yeah.
is like
But
60% black.
regardless, Pasadena is like I lived there for a few years. I'm like, it's just so diverse, and
It is.
when I would go to the park, which is the recreation center, it was all blacks and Latinos. I mean, that's
Oh,
pretty much
hey.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Good boxing clubs out there.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep,
No,
yeah,
you were part of that boxing club, correct?
yeah. Pasadena Villa Park
Yeah, yeah.
boxing,
Via
and
Park.
and even the neighborhoods are like you go through some really nice older uh, houses, and then you're in the ghetto, and then really nice houses again. You're back in the ghetto. You know.
Yeah. In both Pasadena and Altadena. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Pasadena has a few like famous houses that have been used for movies. Um, like what is that? Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Caddyshack. And that movie. I'm always quoting the kids throwing the crazy party until the break of dawn, yo. I can't remember the movie.
What time period?
It actually was filmed across the street from the Caddyshack house.
What? Okay. What to the break of dawn? I can't think of that quote.
It's yeah, where they throw the best party ever. Oh man, what is that movie?
Like 80s, 90s,
No, like 2000s,
like
like
2000s.
10 years
Oh,
ago.
the kids or Frank the Tank.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
That's old. That's older. Yeah, that's before that.
before that? Like
I
the
mean, no,
Unused movie?
no. I'll think of it right now. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Can you name an actor? You know
Nope.
how I am with movies. No?
Nope.
Wow.
Mm-mm. I could tell you the whole storyline where they're like
Okay.
jumping off the roof, and they steal like a gnome from a drug dealer who sold them weed, and it turns out to be ecstasy pills, and then the guy hits it with a bat, and then everyone's having a good time with ecstasy pills. No, anything like
No.
that. I'm gonna have to put to
No.
the break of dawn now.
Jesus. I
So
can't. It sounds vaguely familiar, but it's not a movie I've seen multiple times. So what movie are you talking about? Because
I don't really watch
I'm,
movies at all.
I'm a
So
movie guy. Yeah. I I cannot think of it.
just waiting for this to pull up here. Yeah. I
Big
and
Hazy, I would definitely get this Big Hazy Wolf again. This Big Hazy Wolf is
I
pretty
haven't
damn
even
good.
I haven't finished this one, and I'm gonna say
They don't
it's
talk about the
really good.
hops. They don't talk about what kind of hops they use, which most like craft beers brag about the hops they use. They're very subtle in everything, and I kind of like the fact they use the can because for some reason I believe the fact that the can does capture the hops better or preserves it better. Rather, I'm a big fan.
You think it holds a flavor in more? I mean, they say it does because of it doesn't let light in, but
Nothing's
you
in.
could taste the aluminum
Do you taste it? Because I
more.
don't at all.
At times I do.
Mm.
At times I do, and then at times I don't. I'm still checking on this movie because that's not actually the name of the movie. It's not Till the Break of Dawn,
I know
but
it's not. Yeah, it's a movie. Okay, like, is it just like all white kids, all white cast, like every other funny movie like that, or
I know.
or?
I was trying to think about that. I was doing some research today because I was watching YouTube like I always kind of watch, and the guy's like, no matter what you do, if you're going to start a podcast, niche it down. Like, let's say you're going to do one about fitness.
Uh-huh.
And he talks about me literally. And he's a well known YouTuber. He's got like 70 million downloads on his podcast. And
Okay.
he's like, you got to niche down. He's like, that fitness is too broad. You want to do like, let's say running. And I'm like, no, because like to me, the way I see it, narrowing it, niching down that much that's not me. I'm like, and how many podcasts are there out there of running? And so I checked. There's at least 80 podcasts of running.
That's not overwhelming at all. I thought it'd be more. Okay.
It's not,
Mm.
but then I checked, well, how many of those podcasts have someone like me? Someone my complexion? And I think I found one out of the 80. I'm like,
Really,
hmm.
really.
And then I checked fitness, what he was saying not to do, and there was 43 podcasts. So there was actually less
Huh.
in competition. And then I know if I look up jujitsu, there'll be way more. So I'm like, I know you're the expert and everything, but I th- there's no rules in podcasting. There's no
There isn't.
rules. So you can do
It's
whatever the
still
fuck you want to do, really.
it's still semi new.
It's actually
And
been
we
around
know
for
this.
like 10, 15 years if you really think about it.
Yeah,
But up until and it's not because I'm on Fireside, but up until Fireside, there has been no evolution to the podcast game at all. It's like it stayed the same. It's kind of and I hang around social audio rooms and I'm listening to podcasters and they're talking about you can't be everywhere. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. With Fireside, you could simulcast on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, like, and multiple other ones, and then repurpose it really quickly where you really could be everywhere.
they
It's just,
yes,
and the way they do it is so complicated. They're like connecting cameras and zooms and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I saw the potential and the light, and I already know just from reading about Fallon and knowing about Mark Cuban. I'm like,
for sure.
yeah,
They
it's
did they did
like
a good job. Mark Cuban did a good job about just like making it very accessible and very easy. And he's not like a Disney brand or iPhone brand where he just like no, it stays with Fireside. He wants you to bring it out. He wants you to get better and get bigger. So Fireside gets better and bigger, right? It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And I love what they're doing. I can't wait to utilize our four camera thing that we have, you know?
Oh, I know. I invited Julian, but I think he was busy today, and that's what it's called. Actually, before I forget, I'm always reading about sports and technology and stuff, and I read something, and it's once again not because I'm on this platform, but I thought it was very cool. So Mark Cuban came out with. I've seen more than one person share the story. A new website where you can get medical drugs that you need for cheap, like where like other companies are selling some cancer pill for like I forget how much, and he like a couple hundred, and he's selling it for like $47,
Okay.
and he just came out with it. So to me, that deserves a. We need more affordable
We
like
do.
medication for the average person who isn't a billionaire.
You know what Mark Cuban did during the height of the pandemic back in 2020, around what April, March, excuse me, March, April, May, when it finally took off when they shut down everything. He did the. I didn't hear of anyone else doing what he did, especially as owners. But you know, he kept all the Dallas Mavericks employees. He kept them paid on payroll, same as they would normally get, same pay they would get normally. He kept the same thing. That's what a what a Boy Scout, dude. That's a what a great man. You know what I mean? I didn't hear of anyone doing anything like that, like remotely, like even like I didn't hear a hint of anyone else doing something cool as that. You know, it was more like you can't work, we can't work, we're not making money, you can't make money, but you get your job back. And what happened with that? How many help wanted signs are there? Literally every business has a help wanted sign. From Yoshinoya.
Damn, that is too close to the mute.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because I remember hearing a story about some girl who in New York, she like backed up her boss during the whole restaurants being shut down, serving customers when no one really knew what COVID and how contagious it was, and then he lays her off. I'm like, what a dick. She like stuck with you during the whole time, and then because
Yeah.
she didn't want to get the vax, she let like he and this is when it barely first happened. I'm like, that's not how you treat like loyal employees, like
Not at all.
So yeah, I thought that was a pretty much of a dick move, and
Super dick move.
yeah, I'm gonna have to change that button.
You got to get like a dick move button, like boo.
Yeah, you can reprogram this, so I'm still learning about it, but so far, yeah, I like it.
The microphone's cool. Yeah, the bad timing on sound effects not so cool, but all good.
Yeah. I got to work on that. I'll just do this one instead.
Cool. I want to
Yeah.
ask you a question because I want you to ask me this. We're hikers, we're runners, we're endurance enthusiasts, we're beer drinkers, but we're also football fans. And I would want you to ask me this, but because your team is going to the NFC Championship next week, I wanted to ask you just like, what's up, man? How do you feel about that shit? And what do you expect to happen? And have you heard about like everything going on? And being in LA, watching the news, I'm getting just Rams coverage from the coach to the players like Donald, and just how dope they are. And people are really looking at the Rams right now, like even knowing that the fact that this was Niners got them like six in a row or something like that, like right, 6 games in a row, done. How do you
Yeah.
feel? How do you feel? First of all, big ups to your team, man. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of the Rams too. As a football
Well,
enthusiast, I want you to talk about it.
so
And by the way, it's Raider Nation. Raider
yeah,
Nation all
I
day.
was gonna. I didn't want to, bring it up and bring up something hurtful, but I would say the Raiders had Very good season considering everything that they went through. The firing of their coach, which I think was well deserved. I never liked Chucky. He got
I
he
will
got paid
disagree
$100
with you.
million with a under 500 record,
But he didn't do anything to get fired. This is some past shit
and
before
he
he got
didn't
the
win a Super
contract.
Bowl. Tony Dungy put
It was
together that team.
okay. Hold on.
That's so and
Two
then
different things. He got fired
with
for
the
something he did
receiver,
before the contract.
yeah, that part.
How many coaches back in the day
So there's a
got
couple
fired?
questions about that because there seems to be multiple emails because he's talking about Joe Biden. Not that I'm taking sides or anything, but he's talking about Joe Biden as president. So how could he be? How could those emails be that old if Joe Biden just turned president?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
yeah, but yeah, and I don't believe that you should get fired for something you did like 10 years ago because you should have grown as a person. Unless you stay with that same negative
Yeah,
mentality,
yeah, for sure.
then you shouldn't be judged on what you thought 10 years ago. Everyone has a right to evolve.
It sounds like locker talk. You know, it was a lot of anti-gay shit, right? And it sounds like a lot of locker talk. It's like, hey, yeah, whatever, this and that. And you know, I think in 2022 they need to stop. I think it really does. In 2021, I think like let every person just be themselves. I'm cool with that. Like, cool. I'm black and Mexican, man. Like, you know, I've been through everything. You know, I've been through so much adversity and so much judgment and all that. I could care less about if a man wants to be with another man. I do not care. You know, I used to say before my wife, you know, more pussy for me, cool. Like I could care less. So, but he's like an old school football guy, and that's how they do. Hey, dude, you know that's how they talk. And how many other coaches are just like him? I mean, come on, man.
Oh, that for sure.
You know,
And I think it's has to do a lot with the owners that's generational and they grew up in a racist era and it was acceptable and kind of like what happened with the Clipper coach. Um, Before I forget, I found the name of the movie. It's called
oh,
Project X.
I never seen it.
Oh,
Heard about
yeah.
it. Know it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then as far as
You
the
recommend it?
Niners, I do. Yeah. It'll make you laugh. And
Okay.
then the Niners, man, two more games. It's a long road. I would love to watch them win another championship in my lifetime. Will it happen this year? I don't know. I'm
Why?
not
Who's
sure.
gonna stop him?
Um,
KC?
do you think Kansas City is going to beat Bengals?
I do,
I do,
without a doubt.
and I think the Niners are going to beat the Rams
So you think
because
KC?
of the experience.
Mahomes is coming off a loss, a Super Bowl loss, so he's gonna be
Yeah.
hungry. He's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so to get revenge over the team that took you out, I think
One of our dear
that's Jimmy G's only playoff loss.
Jimmy G is great, but
No, he's good. He's not great.
okay, I'm sorry. Jimmy G is good. That's what I meant to say. But I had our buddy of ours, um, Mike, talked about the Niners, and he said he said it. I never told you this. I don't think I told you today. He predicted they would win because he said you can't fuck with their seven. The defense, you can't fuck with that seven. And he said, I was like, damn, I never even thought about it like that. But I mean, look what the defense did.
Not just the defense, but the special teams. So I
Special
think
teams, yeah, especially, but I mean, everything.
because
Even
the
they were
Rams
down,
front four
they were
is
down
very
seven
impressive.
zero. They were down 7-0 from the first minute,
Yeah,
but
but
they never
with
let
Von Miller,
they never let it like the gap.
Von Miller, what's his name, Donald, two, and the other two guys, they're all stars. They're dangerous. They're so. I'm not gonna say I'm not concerned about the rush. The Rams rush. The front four are dangerous. And actually, they got that corner. Is it Ramsey? The
Mm,
guy they took from Jacksonville. He's a
yeah,
shutdown corner.
yeah, yeah.
He's yeah. So, I mean,
And then OBJ's, I mean, like Rams,
the Rams,
they
the
got
running back
weapons,
has a
man.
fumble problem.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is Matt Stafford, and up until last game, he's been a loser with the Lions. You know, like
Yeah, but in college, Max Stafford was the man. I think he's going to go to the man level. So I think he's going to play his best game. I really do. Yeah,
I
he's
I used to like kind of go up to bat for Matt Stafford, but he had Megatron at one point, and he didn't do it. So I'm like, you can't. He kind of made Megatron retire in some
was
ways,
it his fault or is Megatron too much of an egotistical?
kind of like Barry Sanders though. Barry
Barry
Sanders
Sanders.
retired from the same team because they wouldn't do enough. And that's been the history of the Detroit Lions. Like, you make superstars retire rather than go out and get players. Like, you'd rather have Barry Sanders and
Burn
Megatron
out, burn out.
retire. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
makes
yeah,
no sense. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
Do they have a ring?
Who?
The Lions.
Mm, no. Oh, yeah.
No,
Probably back in the day. Probably back
maybe
in the day.
when there's something else, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's
Who
interesting.
cares? Just talk about the Niners. It's good. It's good. Go
So
back.
yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'd love to see them win. They have a good team. Their corners are a little acceptable, but overall, I think their offense is on point. When you got Kittles and Kelsey is like up there as far as the tight end, but I give the edge to
He's dope.
Kittles. Not
No, Kelsey's dope. I love the way he plays.
not because he's a Niner, but because everyone says it. He's the best blocking tight end and receiver tight end, and Kelsey's more of a receiver tight end than a blocking. Like, you can't. So I'll give the edge to him, and then on receivers right now, Debo, he's just on fire. And then the rookie, even running back we have, is on fire too. So I feel our offense is good. Our defense is good. We definitely have a shot.
Oh, it's not even about having a shot. That's not the question. That's not like both teams have a shot, but who's gonna like excel, propel to that next level? If both teams do the same thing as far as excelling and propelling to the next level, then who's gonna just like put the afterburners on that motherfucker? You know what I mean?
So
Like,
that's where I feel experience comes in. That's the difference between Kansas City and the Bengals. How many times has Mahomes been there? And Jimmy G hasn't
but
been there,
Mahomes been there three
but
times out of his 4 year career.
right. And then
Crazy.
Jimmy G, how many like clutch situations has he been in compared to Matt Stafford?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
S And he's been to the Super Bowl. So, and a lot of the team there has been to Super Bowl. You know, they lost some of the players, but a lot of the Bosa's the original from the Super Bowl. So is the tight end. And did they have Debo? I'm not quite sure.
I don't think
Um,
so. I don't think so.
Jimmy G. So they got some players on that team from that Super Bowl who can definitely. I think this is where experience comes in and takes over.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that being said, for the Super Bowl, you saying KC wins over Niners?
How dare you?
You say experience.
Um,
Mahomes versus Jimmy.
yeah,
Experience.
experience, but then this will be good because the Niners are experienced losing 2 seasons ago, and Casey's coming off 1 year. So,
Yeah.
who's thought about it longer? Who's more hungrier?
I would say they're both as hungry. For sure.
Not winning a championship and winning a championship and going to the Super Bowl back to back years. You think it's the same hunger?
Yeah, because they lost to fucking Tom Brady.
I think someone without a ring will always be more hungry than someone with a ring.
I forgot the without a ring factor. I
Yeah,
get that. But does Jimmy have it in him?
that
Is he
I
a Mahomes?
and everyone kind of
Is he
giving
a
Jimmy
Josh?
shit, but he's got a broken finger and
What
he's
does
got
Joe
a
say
bad
about this
shoulder.
guy? Has Joe commented on him? The great
Montana.
Joe or Steve? Yeah.
Let's see. I think Steve Young did, but I couldn't remember at this moment.
Okay. I'd be
And
curious. I'd be curious
yeah.
about both of their opinions on this quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I like the fact he runs. He's like a half running back quarterback. He runs sometimes.
and he throws passes.
Yeah, and he throws passes. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Kelsey, did he throw a touchdown? Because I seen a meme today where it said I don't know if Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown pass or not. Did he?
that's what they're saying. He didn't.
So Kelsey threw one and Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, he didn't. He
So
didn't.
like he didn't do anything to lose the game either. And
No,
you can't blame him for everything because they
you
had
can't blame him
10
for
men on
everything.
the field
I thought
during the
Rogers had a decent game, but it wasn't a stellar game. But it was special teams. Niners special teams won the game straight up. A field goal and a punt. What the fuck? That doesn't happen in one game. Both those things don't happen in like one game every like a rarity. It was like two rare things in one game. Where the
no,
special
the
again, what I tell you?
the
Can you
same
tell? Can you?
guy can't get 11 players on the last play for that winning field goal. He had 10 players. The same coach who fucked up, who couldn't coach his players right, had 10 players on the winning field goal on Green Bay. You can't blame that on Aaron Rodgers. It's like
No,
your special teams coach just
that's your
sucks.
fucking job, dude. Yes, yes.
So I would love to see the Niners win, and hopefully in a few weeks we could be talking about their Super Bowl appearance. But yeah, until then, I don't know. It's been so many years, and I'm not used to the Niners losing Super Bowls. But the last two times they went, they lost. So I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because people that maybe are younger, we come from the Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice era where Niners were the shit, you know. And how long before? So that was like you were Niner at that point, or before, or just like right. That's when we grew up. That's how. What made you a Niner? And I'm gonna step outside where I can hear you.
yeah. Watching Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice to me was like, I didn't realize at the time, but he was like one of the ultimate competitors. And I didn't realize that he came from like, you know, a smaller college that people didn't look into, and
What
that
college
he,
was that?
Mississippi something.
Okay,
Uh,
one of those suburbs.
yeah. And he was actually on Fireside, and uh, he was talking about it on it when he was on Fireside, how when he first got there, he would catch the ball like at the, you know, like on a slant, and then he would run it all the way to the end zone. And people were looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Because that's going to make the practice run longer. But he's like, that's just what I do. And then everybody kind of started doing it. And to this day, from my understanding, they still do that. But it was pretty much just watching Jerry Rice. And then as I'm watching, I think I realized that all the players were kind of special because like John Taylor made plays and Brent Jones made plays, and then Roger Craig and Tom Rathman and Joe Montana, and then like Ronnie Lott. Ronnie
Lot,
Lott
Lot
would
was
just come
dope.
in and
Lot
put
was
a
dope.
licking on some fool, and then all of a sudden the whole game would change because he just like stuck the person so hard that the whole team just got like pumped up and rallied right after him. Like, oh damn!
Yeah.
So
Ronnie Lott was
Lott,
a beast, dude. I loved Ronnie Lott was dope. Yeah.
and then there's that infamous story of where he talks about cutting off his finger, his pinky, so he can go back in the game. So he went up to hit some guy, and his own teammate, like with the helmet, hit his pinky. So they're like, "You got to come out the game." He's like, "No, just cut it off." And they're like, "We're gonna go put stitches." Like, no, just cut it off. So they cut off the pinky, and he went back in the game.
They cut a
Like,
pinky, wrapped it. Yeah. And
just
that's it.
just
What a
that, to me,
beast.
that's man shit. Urgh.
That's fucking yeah. That's beyond man shit. That's like bear shit. That's like when man sees bear and man just runs like fuck it. I'm not gonna do it. That's some bear shit.
That
Right?
deserves like some claps right there. Like,
Yeah, that's a
like
clap moment. Yeah. Dude's a beast. Yeah.
yeah. When I used to hear that story, and I'm like, I'm not sure if it's true, but then I kept looking into it, and I confirmed
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
100. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Real story. Yeah, it's not a yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not
He's
a fable.
nope. So I was kind of looking at the calendar since we got I don't know, like 13 minutes to go. And our
Yeah,
next
are you?
episode should
Let me just
be,
ask you: did you just drink the one? Because I know you got two. Because I was with you.
but no, I still got the other one to go.
Okay.
But yeah, no, February 7th most likely would be the next one, the next show,
Yeah.
which will be interesting.
Why? You do a
I'm,
Valentine's beer for the ladies?
oh, is there such a thing?
I don't know. I don't.
That I
Or
love, a love
or
beer, a
check
love
it.
beer.
Like, what beer do women love? Not beer drinking women. The women that like hike, run, skate, whatever you do. Like, what is a is it seltzer? Do we have to do February 7th seltzer? Because we're not going to do a seltzer. But like, what is a? I know from my wife, she likes Stella Artois, and she's a woman. She's a she's a definitely a class a great example of a woman. She likes Stella Artois, but she also likes
Oops, wrong one. I meant to say that's a good beer though. I like Stella. I
Stella
do.
is a good beer. It's
That
always been a good beer. This is not a
that
craft brew thing. It's been around for a long time.
that's supposed to be a celebration beer.
Yeah. So she likes Stella, but she also loves I couldn't think of it in my head. What's that beer? The old school. It used to be the first. It's the first Dodger beer ever. Um, it comes. It's just a regular American lager. Dude, I don't know why I can't think of it.
Oh, please don't tell me it's
Pabst Blue Ribbon
oh,
PBRs. She likes the taste of Pabst
oh
PBR.
that
Like
that's
she,
what the original beer I think in the United States. Yeah.
yes, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and she likes Stella. And she'll do with Dos Equis when I do when we're doing Sunday Fun Day. But I'd be curious to see like February 7th, like what beers do chicks tend to gravitate towards? And by chicks I mean women. Sorry if that sounds like Johnny from fucking Cobra Kai. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm changing my vocabulary. I'm trying to change the way I talk. Okay, I still say chicks. I didn't say broads. I didn't say dames. I love women. I love respect women. Yeah, I got to get out of the whole hey chicks mind state, right? But what kind of beer do women actually enjoy? Like even on this IPA level, like do they like the Elysian Space Dust? Do they like the Claremont Craft Ales? Do they like the Golden Road? There is a woman that represents Golden Road that's an owner, and she's like, I'm a beer advocate. I love beer, and she's like, I want everyone. I love the hearing. I loved hearing the female take on craft brewery, as in what she wanted to do with it, and she basically wanted people to just taste and fall in love with the flavor of a good beer. And that's why they give you so many varieties all in a can. If you saw the footage of the outside of the Golden Road, all these dudes have tall boys kicking it on the tables, tall boys, or a glass foot up the tall boy
Ac-
next to it,
Actually,
which is
now that you
cool.
mention it, that's true. There's not one bottle on their website.
You
It's
know,
all can.
it's all can.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's all can. I realized that today when I was, trying to do that. When I was going down that rabbit hole, I was like, "Yeah, I've never." Remember we talked about it on the hike. Wait, have you seen a bottle? No, I haven't. No, they don't do
No,
bottles.
no, but it didn't really click until I'm looking at the website and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, there's nothing on here about a bottle. And then it doesn't really seem to be up to date either because they didn't even have this beer
they
on the
don't have
website.
bottles, bro. They don't.
No,
Yeah.
this one's not even on there. You
Oh,
won't see it.
really?
And
Oh,
I clicked on IPA and it's not on there.
no way. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Golden Road Brewery,
How many mugs for the big hazy wolf?
and according to them, um, and they got national distribution back in 2015. So this should be available everywhere. It's 9% alcohol. It's the big Hazy Wolf Double Hazy IPA, and I think one of the reasons this one contains wheat. Did not know that.
Wait,
I
what?
think I think one of the reasons why they seem to have like a wolf theme on a lot of their beers is because they're really like advocates for pets.
Oh
And,
yeah, they are. You can walk into a Golden Road with your dog and stuff, like you can do a Lazy Dog Cafe or whatever, something like that, right?
yeah, that's what I was reading. That's one of the first things when I Googled them that came up. And then I've done two like running pacing for them where all the proceeds went to like dog shelters. So people paid, you got to run
Oh
a like a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
5K. You
yeah.
got a couple beers, a sandwich, and all the money went to like the dog shelter. So I thought
Super
that
cool.
that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love that. Love that. I would support them on that. And this is like this is probably our truest LA brewery that we've ever covered. Being proud Angelinos. I'm surprised. It's a good beer, and I think we should support them more and then try the rest of them.
Yeah, actually, since you mentioned it, yeah, this might be the. Is this the most Angelino beer we've had? I think
For
on here.
sure. That
Yeah,
we touched upon in the past year and whatever. Yeah, this is except for the fact that the woman I was talking about that started it, she's not from LA. They moved to LA from I don't want to butcher this state. I want to say like down. I want to say like Kentucky or something like that though. Yeah, she's not from. She's not an LA native. They came to LA. They had a love for beer. They loved the vibe, and they did their thing. Which I'm not discounting it at all, but they're not Angelinos.
yeah.
No.
I'm the variety of rotation of beer seems to be what's keeping them like going, and just because the variety, like those mango cards.
Oh yeah, the mango cards, which I never tried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you
the
never
bread and
tried,
butter.
but you told me about that watermelon. No, was it? It was like a watermelon, pico, golden road. You're the one that told me cucumber.
Oh yeah, yeah, the cucumber michelada.
And when I tried it, I was like,
Oh no, that wasn't Golden Road though. I was doing
it,
Modelo.
it wasn't golden road.
No, I've only did the mango and the pineapple
Oh,
Modelos.
I bought the Golden Road
I've never done the Golden
cucumber.
Road.
It
I
was
I, I
a
don't
little too
even
sweet for
do.
me. Too
Yeah,
sweet.
I don't. Actually, the Modelos are sweet too, but that's a different rabbit hole. Because I enjoy my Modelo mango uh, picante is great for like a one beer, like your first into like one beer or like one beer you're having after a 12-hour shift of work. If I have one mango picante michelada from Modelo, I'm good. It's really good. It's super sweet. Yeah, it's a flavor. It's like a dessert versus a good IPA where it's like taste and strength that you think about shit, whatever you do with beer. But yeah, yeah, yeah. No way. I never tried a Golden Road Michelada. No, I never tried Golden Road like that, except for the Dodger beer.
I'm really impressed with this one. I'm
Is that your
I'm
second one?
yeah.
You
I'm gonna.
fucking drunk.
What? How dare you? How dare you say what it's on my shirt? No, I'm really impressed with this one. The flavor
It's
is
really good.
really good, and I don't taste no bitterness, no hoppiness, no. It's
Not
just
really.
crisp.
It's very subtle. It's very subtle. It's super drinkable. Um, you do taste the hops, as in you taste the quality that they put into it without it being overbearing. That's what I get from that. And it's what 9%. Super good beer. Super good beer. I would definitely buy this again. If it came in a 6 pack, they need to do that. If it came in a 12 pack, I'm surprised that Anheuser Busch hasn't done it better than that because they did the Elysian. Uh, they do that good. Space Dust comes in 12 packs like
I'm
easily.
surprised this has wheat. I don't taste any wheat at all. But it says
Are you
hazy
do you like
Indian
the
pale
wheat?
ale contains wheat. I usually don't like them because they make you put
Heavy,
on weight,
heavy.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but like, what was Heffenweiser? I think is one of the first ones I've had. It was
Hefeweizen's a wheat ale.
beer. I mean, back in the
It's
day
stout.
when I
Man.
when I first like discovered them, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But
Yeah. What
now I'm
was the
like,
first one you tried? Do you remember?
I think it was Heffenweiser.
No,
I think
Hefeweizen's a type of.
wheat. No, no, no. I'm just talking wheat beer, like
No, I'm
wheat
talking about
beer.
like the what
Oh,
Hefeweizen
Blue
did you
Moon.
have? Oh, Blue
Oh,
Moon.
Blue Moon, and then there's I can't remember the other one, but I think Blue Moon's probably the most common wheat beer out there.
I guess. But when you deal with Hefeweizen, when you go to that rabbit hole, you
But
deal with German beer.
it's also Miller.
Hefeweizen's Miller.
Blue Moon is Miller.
Blue Moon's Miller. Yeah, I believe
Because
that.
when you drive down the 210 on the freeway, you can see it on the Miller Brewing. You know
Oh,
that
okay.
one
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Of
Yeah,
course.
they
Oh,
put
yeah.
the. I
Yeah,
think
that's
they
true.
also do Mickey's.
Yes, they do now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we should
I,
do a malt
I,
liquor show.
oh, that'd be cool. We do a '90s like total flashback malt liquor with yeah, like Mickey's and Old English and all that.
Some Colt
Hey,
45.
what was it? What was the beer that we saw Homeboy at the liquor store buying? Remember, I was
Yeah,
calling it
that's what reminded me of
Hurricane.
it. Hurricane.
Malt Hurricane. That shit was like crack in the '90s. Like you should get like late '90s. You could get like a dollar tall boy Hurricane, and you were
Uh,
cool. That was like before Bud Ice, before Platinum. It was a Hurricane.
Buying
That
99
dude bought
cent.
two, but he
Buying.
tried to get change for it.
Did you ever buy beer at the 99 cent store? It was called
No,
Laser.
no, bro.
99 cents.
What are you talking about?
Ah, it was horrible.
Why did you try it,
Because George worked there, and you know,
George?
back in the day, yeah,
Yeah,
back in yeah,
at that
and
Susan one.
yeah, Laser. I puked, nasty all over.
Wow.
Yeah,
Why would you try that? How old were you?
I don't know, 17 maybe.
Ah,
Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. If you're listening
horrible,
to this,
horrible. Don't listen to him. I cannot believe you did
yeah, blame Victor and Mark, mom. Just
that.
next time you see them.
Victor and Mark. Victor is an angel. You can't blame Victor.
I mean, now he
Please.
is. Now he
He's always
is,
been an angel. That's not true.
and that's what's great about growing up in that era. It's like there was no cell phones to capture all that footage because a lot of us would have been crucified by what we did back then. But I'm not the same person I was back then, and you know now they're talking about because I'm trying to keep up with technology, but they're talking about what is it called? It's like you basically can't delete your social media, which
Okay.
is it's what are they trying to call it? Um, it's that trendy word that everyone's like declassified or uncentralized social media.
Okay.
But what that means is you can go on there and you can say whatever you want to say, and it could be hateful. You know what I mean? But it can never be erased.
Wow.
So,
So
like 10 years from now, if you regret that and you're like evolved, people can always bring that kind of like the internet now because people can
yeah,
take
yeah,
snippets, but this
yeah.
is permanent because it's like on a blockchain. And
This
so
is
it's
permanent right here. We can't edit this. I
no,
love
no,
it.
no. Right. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I guess people could try and argue, well, I got hacked. It wasn't me. You can't prove like, but the other way, it's like, kind of like in some ways like DNA. There's no way to deny. Oh, that
Yeah,
wasn't you. Like,
it was
no,
real.
I didn't say that. You know.
It's not. It wasn't. What do they say? It's not like green screened or anything
Right.
like that. Yeah,
Right.
that's actual proof.
Right.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting for like your kids growing up.
for sure.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
a whole new genre age
Yeah,
that we've
yeah.
not. No one really knows what to do.
I'm very unimpressed with how my kids are growing up though, because they're doing rap battles. They have a little thing on like Roblox or whatever that thing is called. Like one of the things they do, and there's this thing called like rap battles. And but it's they don't rap. They actually, because mumble rap pisses me off, right? Like like regular rappers that mumble like cool. I do what I do because I say what I do, and then they get like fucking
How
whatever all
dare you?
twenty,
That's my
right?
favorite.
Oh, that's your shit.
No, no.
So my kids have this thing that they listen to. It's like called battle rap, and it's like kind of like half anime, half whatever, just shitty cartoons like South Park. Like the creators did, they did the cartoon. You know what I mean? Like it's shitty work. Uh, no disrespect to the South Park guys. I love them. I love Matt and Trey. They're fucking funny. But like I hear the rap battles, and they're like this. They're literally like this, bro. Do you not know what I'm talking about? It literally starts off with a stupid beat,
I
and they
have not
go,
been on Roblox for rap battles.
okay, no, okay. So it goes like they literally do this, and I'm not lying to you when I there's no words. They actually go with the microphone, with the beat, with the whack beat. And the other one goes, and they have kids repeat it. I'm not lying to you when there's actually no words involved in it. I'm not saying I'm old and I don't understand the words. I'm saying they don't actually have fucking words. And they call it a rap battle. Super concerning.
That
Weird.
oh yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
Weird.
That is. I'm gonna have
I'll
to
give
look
you
into
footage
it,
because
but
you know what I'm talking about?
I don't because
I'll
I
give
don't know
you,
about Roblox like that. But Roblox is one of the versions of metaverse,
it's
and
huge.
if you
Huge.
think about it, there's some games like what is that driving game where you get to drive around and kill people
Oh
and,
yeah,
t-
yeah.
and talk to hookers and all that.
Yeah.
That
What you
game has
call it?
been around, I think, at least
It's on five now, right?
10 or 15
Yeah,
years.
it's on five now.
So there's literally people who are still playing like the first one. So that's like a metaverse because people, as long as they're in that
Still in that
community,
world, huh? Still in that world.
kind of like on Roadblocks, how we're talking to each other. Those kids were talking to each other. It's the beginning of it. It's like the early stages. So, but yeah, that mumble rap, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. I like. I do like a lot of the new stuff. I'm.
I
I'm.
don't mind the new stuff. I don't mind the new stuff when it's good, but I want to hear words. I want to
I
hear you
do.
convey anything.
I.
It doesn't even have to be a message.
I
I
think
want to
some
hear
of the
you
older
flow.
generations complain about nothing though. Like over here in LA, we have Power 106. So I heard some guy call up and he's like talking shit about all the new rappers. Like, what kind of name is Blueface? What kind of name is I forget what else he said. And I'm like, he's kind of got a point, but what kind of name is Ice T? What kind of name is Ice
Ice
Cube?
Cube. Yeah,
It's like those
true.
aren't
We have the
those
same
aren't.
names. E40,
Yeah, it's like the well,
50 Cent.
it's not the name. It's
It's
like
not the name. Too short.
the
It's not
beat
the name.
and the lyrics that you're dropping and the whole
It's the people. Yeah,
presentation.
I agree with you with that. But I can't judge Blueface because I know that. Is
I
he the one
could.
that died?
Blueface, well, he did some pretty derogatory lyrics against the Mexican Americans and
Is he
Latinas
dead?
and pouring horchatas
Is he the one
over
that's
them.
dead?
No, he's not dead.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he was saying some pretty derogatory things where I'm like, if it was on the flip side and some Mexican were to be like rapping about black women that way, dude, it would be like upside down. But he was saying some like, I'm gonna pour chata on you. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
that's pretty fucked up.
I don't know, dude like that. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, but when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. So when I challenged my $100 million challenge to fight everybody, Jake Paul, Mayweather,
that'd be
I
easy.
I threw in a
And the
I
other
threw in
Paul. What's the other
Blueface.
Paul's name? Logan, right?
Yeah, I
Can I
threw
get
in
Can I get
Blueface.
Logan? Can I get Logan?
Let's do it.
Can I get Logan?
Yeah,
Okay. Cool. Cool.
let's do
Cool.
it. It's official. Logan and Jake Paul.
Logan, Jake Paul. Drunk podcast. What's up?
Yep.
For no money, just pride,
No,
man. Fucking
no, no,
pride.
no. What?
No. Hold
No.
up. Hear me out. We aren't giving you money if we lose, but if we win, you give us like what? 500,000. That ain't shit from you guys from all this fucking money you taking for no reason. And you guys were rich in the first place, so fuck you anyway.
No. Let me negotiate the fight contract.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
like that one?
No,
That was unofficial.
we want guaranteed money, like the NFL guys.
All right.
That's the way to go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I think we're talking. I'm already on my second beer. I really like this one. I'm gonna give
Can I try
this.
the mango cart real quick?
Yeah, go for
In
it.
a minute?
I'm gonna give this one 2 thumbs up overall.
2 out of 5?
Actually, I'll give
No.
this a 5.
Okay, you get a 5 mugs?
Yeah.
I would give it a 4 mugs just because I'd want room for perfection. But I think it deserves a 4 mugs big time. Big time.
So and go ahead and grab your beer. But I'm interested to hear what would be perfection because the color's good, very crisp. Like I'll put it up here so those of you who are not listening and watching, can actually look at the beer. Great texture, great color. Like I have lots of lights around me for lighting, and so I can see it's like a really nice clear color, um, but it's really smooth. I don't really taste any hops. I don't taste any bitterness. It's strong, 9%. I think for 2 19 ounce, let's see, 19.2 ounce something, I paid like 750. So it's not bad. You can't, from what I looked in the internet, you cannot buy this in a 6 pack, in a on draft, on anything. It only seems to be in a 19.2 ounce can right now,
Which makes sense.
and which is surprising. If you go to their actual website, you will not find any information. The strongest IPA they will have is the triple IPA, which is 8%. And Ty is trying another one by Golden Road, which is
This is their
called
bread and butter. This is
Golden
the
Cart.
Mango Cart Mango Wheat Ale, which I never tried just because I'm kind of a beer snob and I always kind of thought it would kind of be whack for some reason because I thought the Mango Cart was kind of trendy. But I'm trying it just because we're going Golden Road. I want to try their bread and butter.
Yeah, I've tried their different flavored beers. They're okay. They're not strong. They're probably like 5 point and under, but these are like the type of beers that you're gonna be able to drink all day,
It's
maybe
like
at
a
a
day, exactly. It's a
barbecue.
day beer. This is
Yeah,
definitely a day beer. Yeah.
because a
Super
lot of
heavy.
IPAs, unless you're acquired
Super
used to
heavy.
them, you're gonna go down for the count.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't do IPAs all day. You know?
no, no, but you can start off with some like Modelos, some Pacificos, some lighter beer,
Yeah,
some
I'm a Dos Equis guy.
some
Little
some mango cart, and then work your way up to the IPA to go mimis,
for sure.
which for those of you who don't speak Spanish, mimis is nap time. So I'm interested. So this is your first time trying mango cart,
It
huh?
is. It's just so like right. You would think I would have tried it already.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not into like I don't know. I thought it was kind of like catchy, too like artsy for me, or too like I don't know, too like not what I would like. But I'm trying for the first time. I've been on a mango kick lately.
I mean I like mango, but I'm interested to hear your take on this one. And that beer looks really like a light beer. It doesn't even look like a mango flavored.
Super light.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what they did here, and I think it's a cheese. Remember the old like game cheese, like a cheese in the
Oh,
game.
so okay.
What they do is they flavor it crazy, where it just tastes like mango, and I can't taste the beer, and I think that's generic and a little bit of a cheat mode. I taste mango,
But
like
isn't
sure.
that kind of what you want
No, I want a hint
in the
of mango
well,
in a
like for a
balance.
day beer though, for a day beer.
For
Let's
a
talk
day
day beer,
beer, okay. I
because
like
then it's gonna creep up on you, and then you're like feeling good, and next thing you know, you want a regular beer, or maybe stick to that.
maybe because you want something that tastes like Kool Aid in the daytime to kind of get the flavor.
Really? Oh, I don't know why that sound effect sounds like a porno. It just
It's
does.
super '70s porn. This
Yeah.
is like the Bush era porn. Anyone that, if you know, you know the Bush era. Yeah, it's super sweet. I can't taste the beer. I can't taste the beer on this. It's just a sweet mango drink,
Now,
which is probably why it's so successful.
I think you do have to keep in mind though that you drank an IPA earlier. So if you start off with an IPA, your taste buds for a normal beer are even going to be like, oh, I don't taste nothing even
This
more.
tastes like a mango Kool Aid with a hint of beer.
What is the percentage on that?
Let me see if they show it.
And that was a tall boy.
Tall boy.
Yeah. So mango cart Uh, According to their website, they, since 2015, they have teamed up with Anheuser-Busch for distribution. So if you're listening to this and want to try it, you should be able to find it everywhere.
Yeah, you
Now,
should.
now this one, I think the mango cart, you'd find it everywhere more than this. Because this one, I'm still a little like interested how they don't even have it on the website.
Yeah, it's super good. Yeah, and it's weird because they don't have it on the website, but they have it at every liquor store I've been to. Right?
Yes,
Pretty
that's why
recent.
I kept seeing it. And I was like, you know what? We haven't done Golden Road.
We haven't done Golden
We
Road.
should try this one.
Yeah,
But then I was really surprised when I went to the website, and the website is really like goldenroad.la. So that to me tells me they're not like internet, like nationwide, except for the distribution,
for sure. But they have huge accounts like Dodger Stadium and Angel Stadium.
which is enough to pretty much run the show right there. I don't know what happened to your camera, but you disappeared there. Let's see, I'll invite you to video mode. And I'll invite you one more time. You're on mute right now. But yeah, that was very interesting. When I looked them up, I was doing a little research on them, and yeah, Golden Road. I overall their beers from I would have had. I used to hang around a lot in like Atwater Village or Los Feliz, which is pretty close by to the brewery. So the bars over there got a lot of their beers, and because of that, that's where I got a chance to try a lot of the beers, and um, they were good. I mean, they were good, but I haven't had them in a long time, and up until like the flavored beers, that's kind of when I started seeing them more frequently. And yo, Ty, are you there? I see you on mute, and then I invited you to interview mode a few times. So let me try one more time. All right. And if not, then I will close out the show in a little bit. But yeah, pretty much this show was all about to review the Big Hazy Wolf Double IPA, Golden Road Brewery. In 2015, they teamed up with Anheuser-Busch, and they got nationwide distribution. So you should be able to try this everywhere. This one, if you go once again to the website, you will not see it, but it is really good. You can only find it in a 19.2 something can. This is the flavor, the color of it. The flavor is really good. To me, it's not overwhelming in anything. It's very crisp, very smooth. I really enjoy it. I give it a 5 because overall, like I've had quite a few IPAs. We've been doing this show for like I want to say maybe like 6 months. So the show has like we've got to try a bunch of local beers, and yeah, I like this one. And let me just check real quick here, see if I could turn on my computer with my keyboard here. Meanwhile, I see what's up with Ty. And like I said, he may not come back on, but if he doesn't, that is all right. I will close out the show. But I did want to kind of, let's see here, Golden Road. So I went to their website, like I was mentioning, and let me just check 1 second here. Yeah, so when you go to their IPA page, they have Hazy Heal the Bay IPA, which a percentage of anything you buy from that beer goes to Heal the Bay. And then they got the Hazy Pup IPA. They got the Wolf Pup Session IPA. They got the Wolf Amongst Wheat IPA. I've had that one. That one is very, very hoppy. They got the Point Way IPA, the Passion Wolf IPA, and that's it that they have listed on their website. I'm not sure what happened to the website. It may have to do with COVID, but it's not really too updated. But Overall, like I said, it's a great beer. If you like flavored beer, if you like day drinking beer, you got to try all their different beers. They have mango, watermelon, cucumber. It's just a good mixture. Michelada style beers, a lot of basically themed to Mexican American beers, but it's got national distribution. And yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Ty's having some sort of technical issues, but I'll go ahead and close out the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining Drunk's beer review of the Big Hazy Wolf IPA, double IPA, with me, Coach Ray Z, and Ty. You can catch me this week on my other show, which is here on Fireside, which is Athletic Definition. It'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific time zone on Thursday and Friday. And on Thursday, I will have Carlos Pineda, ultra runner, salsa dancer. And then on Friday, I will have Steve Cotter, fitness pioneer, probably one of the first persons to bring kettlebells to United States. So it'll be a very interesting, fascinating conversation. Please be sure to stay tuned. And then the next episode of Drunks should be on February 7th. We'll see. I will be coming back from Sedona, Arizona at that point. So maybe Ty will have to take that show on his own, depending on where I'm at that point. But thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure to tune in. This show is every 2 weeks. So the next one should be February 7th, if I read the calendar correctly. And thank you, everybody, for listening on the stream and also on the broadcast. So thank you, everybody. Till next time, this is Coach Ray Z. And saying peace out from me and Ty.